Although our Earth is full of fascinating things, did you know that there are more trees on Earth than stars in the Milky Way galaxy? Yes, there are roughly 3.04 trillion trees on our little blue globe worldwide. Of them, 1.30 trillion are found in tropical and subtropical forests, 0.74 trillion are found in boreal regions, and 0.66 trillion are found in temperate zones. That is a large tree. This number has decreased by 46% since the dawn of human civilization, yet another astounding fact. However, you might be shocked to learn that there are more stars in the cosmos than there are sand grains on Earth if we were discussing the stars in the entire observable universe. In the observable universe, there are an astoundingly large number of stars. Scientists believe that there are 1 septillion, or 1 quadrillion, in the European system, that are out there, 1 septillion. While some of you are undoubtedly thinking, no one can count every grain of sand on Earth, University of Hawaii researchers estimated that there are around 7 quintillion and 500 quadrillion grains of sand on Earth. That would be a really impressive sandcastle. Let's now examine the Earth and Moon from orbit. The Moon appears to be quite close to us when you look up in the moonlit night sky. However, the Moon is 384,400 kilometers, 238,855 miles away from us on average. Between the Earth and the Moon, at full apogee, when the Moon is at its furthest orbit from the Earth and around 405,000 kilometers, 251,655 miles, distant, there is enough room to accommodate every planet in our solar system. Indeed, we placed Pluto there to save it from feeling alone. While we're talking about the Moon, let's also acknowledge that it's an odd location in and of itself. Were you aware that the Moon isn't actually round? Because of gravity, it truly has an egg-like form, with the larger portion pointing toward Earth. For the record, the Moon rotates, but it does so in precisely the same amount of time as it takes to orbit the Earth. We only ever see one side of the Moon because of this. The black side of the Moon would be visible if it didn't revolve at all. Though we're sure you already knew that, there's an unexpected fact about the Moon that you may not have known. It has been calculated that the regolith, or loose material that covers the solid bedrock of the Moon, contains 45% oxygen. In fact, it's thought that the Moon has 100,000 years worth of oxygen, which would be sufficient to support 8 billion humans. Unlike the atmosphere of Earth, oxygen is not gaseous. Rather, it is imprisoned within the regolith. Scientists are currently working on a method to remove that oxygen so that people on Moon bases in the future can utilize it for breathing and to turn it into rocket fuel, which will be extremely useful for powering rockets to Mars. What about space itself, though? We are discussing nothing more than plain, ordinary voids. Merely 100 kilometers, 62 miles, beyond Earth's surface marks the beginning of outer space. It is perfectly quiet out in space. This is a result of sound waves not being able to pass through a vacuum. But radio waves are able to traverse across space. Astronauts claim that space has a distinct fragrance, which is the strangest thing about it all. Some space jockeys report that their suit or equipment smells like burned or charred steak, spent gunpowder, welding fumes, or burning metal after entering airlocks. This fragrance is most likely caused by high-energy ion vibrations, according to a NASA chemist. Speaking of odd scents, after investigating the red planet surface, the first people may smell anything on the planet when they step through an airlock. The primary components of Mars are CO2, magnesium, iron, sulfur, and acids. Naturally, breathing is impossible on Mars, which is probably for the best as the planet has an unpleasant odor. Researchers have concluded that Mars must smell like rotten eggs due to the atoms that make up the planet and the nature of its thin atmosphere. That's not all, though. Olympus Mons is among the most amazing features on the red planet. At its highest point, 21.9 kilometers, 13.6 miles or 72,000 feet, rise from this massive shield volcano. That is equivalent to the size of the U.S. state of Arizona and is 2.5 times higher above sea level than Mount Everest. This volcano is actually 100 times larger than Mauna Loa, the largest volcano on Earth and the tallest mountain volcano in the entire solar system. It's comforting to know that, despite all the foul odors in the galaxy, there may be something worth breathing. And speaking of odors, research in our own Milky Way has revealed something else rather peculiar. Sagittarius B2, a massive cloud of gas and dust, lies at the center of our galaxy. This cloud of gas and dust covers an area of around 150 light-years wide, with a mass that is equivalent to 3 million times that of our Sun. For years, Spanish astronomers and scientists have been examining this dust cloud in an effort to locate amino acids, which are the building blocks of life. However, scientists found the existence of a chemical called ethyl formate after examining a stream of data. This particular chemical component is responsible for both the peculiar taste of raspberries and the deep, distinctive fragrance of rum. Thus, it's possible that this cloud has a raspberry rum flavor and aroma. How peculiar is that? Here's another astounding piece of information that will astound you. Enough ethyl alcohol is present in the Sagittarius B2 gas and dust cloud to fill 400 trillion pints of beer. That'd be plenty to provide 300,000 pints of beer a day for 1 billion years to every individual on Earth. Yes, science. It's quite difficult to beat that, but the universe is full of other astounding facts that are mind-boggling, including the size of some objects in space. Consider our Sun as an example. It's quite difficult to gauge its exact size. The Sun is large enough to fit 1 million Earths inside, despite the astounding fact that it makes approximately 99.8% of the total mass in our solar system and that it fuses over 600 million metric tons of hydrogen every second. You haven't seen anything yet, even though that seems significant. When compared to the largest known and viewable star, our Sun appears to be a little insect. This fluctuating hypergiant, known to astronomers as UY Scuti, has a radius that is around 1,700 times greater than that of the Sun. To attempt to put that into perspective, the sphere of UY Scuti could hold about 5 billion suns. Another mind-boggling example, if UY Scuti were to be located in the solar system where our Sun resides, its photosphere would stretch just beyond Jupiter's orbit. If you're wondering where it is, you might be astonished to hear that it is located approximately 9,500 light-years from Earth, close to the heart of our own Milky Way galaxy. Nevertheless, UY Scuti is not the most massive or heaviest star, despite its huge radius. The heavyweight winner is a star with the catalog number R136A1, which is only about 30 solar radii in radius yet weighs 300 times as much as our Sun. While we're talking about stars, the majority of solar systems, like the Star Wars planet Tatooine, are made up of one or more stars. In actuality, binary star systems like Tatooine may comprise 85% of all stars in the observable universe. But now picture yourself on a planet, looking up at the sky and seeing not one, not two, but 7 suns. There is such a star system. It is called AR Cassiopeae. It is just one of 2 star systems with 7 stars. The other is in the Scorpius constellation and is known as Nu Scorpii. You can be certain that the aggregate mass of the 7 stars is enormous, even though nobody knows for sure yet. Since we're on the subject of mass, did you know that the entire mass of the Moon on Earth is greater than the total mass of all asteroids in the solar system? You wouldn't think that was true with all the hoopla about asteroids these days, but it is. That doesn't mean, though, that there aren't any large rocks flying around out there. Vesta is the largest asteroid in our solar system, with a diameter of an astounding 530 kilometers, 329 miles. While we're talking about asteroids, NASA is aware of no enormous space rocks that are headed toward Earth in the near future. So for now, we can unwind. But there are other spooky spacecraft than asteroids. Though black holes are well known, have you ever heard of one that is going across space? When a supermassive black hole was discovered in March 2021, scientists were taken aback and horrified to see that it was traveling through space at an absurd 177,000 kilometers per hour, 110,000 miles per hour. Approximately 3 million times heavier than the Sun, this supermassive black hole is hurtling through space. The idea that a black hole is consuming everything in its path as it travels through space sounds really terrifying. But fear not, the galaxy it resides in is situated in the Taurus constellation, 230 million light-years away. The reason this black hole was flung across its galaxy is still a mystery to scientists. We're simply relieved that it's not traveling in our direction. However, something is moving in our direction. It's actually flying at 110 kilometers per second in our direction, 68 miles per hour, in the galaxy Andromeda. That being said, you shouldn't worry about it because the merger won't occur for roughly 5 billion years. But did you know that Andromeda is actually visible to the unaided eye while gazing up into the night sky? You'll need to download one of those fancy star chart apps and search for Alpharaz, the brightest star in Andromeda. Then, move left until you see Merak in your field of view. Finally, look upward, and you should see an elongated, hazy patch that is half the width and length of the full moon. Best wishes. We have located the Andromeda galaxy for you. The light originating from that little, fuzzy area that resembles a cloud is actually the culmination of light originating from more than 400 billion stars. Humanity and the fact that we even exist at all may be among the most fascinating things in the cosmos. Researchers have discovered that humans and the rest of the cosmos share 97% of the same atoms, which makes life on Earth the most exciting portion of existence. The saying humans are made of stardust is true, as you may have heard. The elements that make up stars, black holes, and dark matter in galaxies are more similar to the elements that make up human bodies. With our technology developing at such a rapid pace, we will undoubtedly learn a great deal more in the next 10 years. Thus, be sure to check back here for more amazing and mind-blowing facts about the universe. I appreciate you watching.